Welcome to Desk Dynamics. This is a podcast where we talk about some of the cool things that we're doing in the service desk to move towards our target picture, which is delivering great user experience through expertise and technology. My guest today is Jaromir Kindle. Hi, Jaromir.
Hi there.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you tell us about yourself?
This is my 19th year in DHL IT services. Whoever knows me, he knows that I have a label of that's the guy with IBM AS400. But yeah, recently I moved to a completely different area, mainly two areas: monitoring of infrastructure of any kind, and running and supporting the platforms, which used to be called business intelligence. I like more data platforms, so data warehouses, front ends for reporting, and so on and so on. So this is my primary focus at the moment.
Excellent. So, Jaromir, you have recently implemented a solution to auto route infrastructure events, right? That's what we're here to talk about. Now, previously, service desk agents would get these event tickets and then they would manually try to figure out which support team this event should be routed to, and then they would assign it manually. Obviously, that is not only inefficient, it's also not the most satisfying job. But before I ask you about the solution that you've implemented, I want to understand the complexity behind it, because on the surface of it, it should be really simple to auto assign event tickets because we know which infrastructure component is generating the event. We know which service it is being used for. We know which teams are supporting that service. So what is so complicated about it in the first place?
When you say you implemented, it's a plural. It's not a singular. It was mainly done by the guys running yes. the monitoring solutions, of course. But yeah, I tried to help them with that problem. And we started to talk to your team to help us understand like how the assignment is done. And we found that it may sound simple, but from algorithmic point of view, it's not so simple at all, because the server which the event is raised for belongs to multiple services. And when we ask them which one you select, yeah, we usually know from the past which is like the one. Okay, and where do you find which supporting group is there? And we go to this system, but it's a free-form format, so we just read it and we find the proper work group from there. So we realized that this is really not an easy task at the end system. And
Jaromir, maybe give us an idea of the volume of events. How many are we generating? How many are actually going to the service desk to assign manually now?
25,000 of routine and 25,000 of emergency events per month, pretty much. That's the volume we're sending. And when I mentioned we now focus on routine events because that's where your team is involved. So out of 25,000, like 20% of those went to service desk. So we were talking about literally 100, 150 per day. Where we are now, we are way below 10. Yesterday it was 2. And yeah, this is our aim. We want to keep it like that.
So Jaromir, tell us about the solution that you did implement then finally.
We started to think like, can we use a completely different approach? Like, can't we just learn from what your guys already did? They had they involved some human intelligence into the process. They were able to find the proper work group. And we were thinking like, can't we use that knowledge for our future assignments? We tried really to correlate whether a certain type of event for certain host, for certain service if it was resolved by a certain work group, whether we can use that information for the future assignments as well. And it was just an hypothesis, and we tested it. We selected a single type of event. We tried, and we were able to achieve 96% of correct assignment. Yeah, so we learned pretty much the data from last 2 years, and we tested it on the 1 month's data and compared to what the service desk guys pretty much assigned it to, and we found 96% of match. And that really that gave us a hope.
Jaromir, you're not a data scientist or a machine learning expert, or at least 12 months back you were not. Now maybe you are. So what gave you the inspiration to learn about all this and then work on the solution?
Yeah, I have to say I'm not. Still, like even 12 months didn't help. I can't say I'm a data scientist or data analyst or machine learning specialist at all. But honestly, I'm now surrounded by experts from those two areas I mentioned, like monitoring and the BI. And really talking to these guys, I found a huge interest in these areas and mainly in the data analytics. And I decided myself that, yeah, let's explore that area a little bit more. And I started to study really data analytics. I started to study Python to learn machine learning algorithms and data analytics. But it gave me maybe the overall idea, like how these things work. And what it probably helped me, it helped me to raise proper questions and maybe try to look at from different angles. This is what it helped me. Yeah.
Jaromir, thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the effort that you and the team have put in to implementing this solution. It's really helping us every single day, and it's helping our users. And of course, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.